Welcome to MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next. If you're not too careful, you just might learn something. Hi there. Welcome back to another episode of MacGyver's Workshop, where you never know what we're going to be working on next, and if you're not too careful, you just might learn something. So this is going to be part 4 of our boating adventure, and today we're going to go ahead and pull the motor out because we got to track down some leaks back into transom. And if you'll recall from our previous episodes, you'll see where we found Swiss cheese in the exhaust manifold, which was causing water to get in the oil, and we put a new manifold on it and got it running with some fresh oil, and it didn't look like it was getting any more water in the oil, so we don't believe that the block is cracked, at least not at this point. So we're going to move forward, pull the motor out, put all new bellows and rubbers and boots and everything back there in the stern drive, because it looks like the boat just hasn't had any attention really since it was new. The exhaust manifold was the original one to the boat, and that's 1969, and these things are only supposed to last like 6 or 7 years, and that's if you're running fresh water. So so we're going to get started here. We've got a lot in the shop today. Got another friend of mine from work. He's got a busted up mower deck we're going to work on, help him work on, and so we'll be doing some cutting, drilling, and welding for that. So stay tuned. There's not much to pulling this motor out. Once you disconnect all the electrical wires, and there's 2 big bolts in the back, and then we're going ahead and we found some more joyousness up here where they jury-rigged the front motor mount, so we're going to pull that all out and see what it's going to take to make that right. So normally MacGyver's Workshop is a family-oriented channel. We only drop F-bombs on occasion, but I think Robert might drop a few in here while he's working on this.
Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, this is a classic case of, and I mean, Robert's all right, but he don't have nothing in this boat, so this is just a learning experience for him. All right, so to begin with here, I'm gonna get my buddy started on his mower deck here. He's reasonably confident in the art of technical and mechanical things, so I just pretty much need to leave him to it, and when it gets to the specialty welding and stuff like that, then I'll get drug into it. So but you can see where he thinks that wife may have hit something and jarred it loose, and then it just went pretty much to hell from there. So we're going to pull this spindle out, check it, make sure it's all good. He's got some brand new blades, and then we're going to fabricate some new steel to put in around here and strengthen that thing up and get him back on the road again. Alright, go ahead and whiz that off. You got it going the right way. Yep. There we go. Oh yeah, she hit something really hard, man. Look at that.
Yeah.
She knocked it right off the key. Okay, so we got the spindle out, and you can see what kind of damage we've done here. And I'll show you how we're going to fix that. Alright, so what we did was we took a piece of plate and we went ahead. This is 3 inches, so we took a 3-inch hole saw, drilled a 3-inch hole, and then we punched the line up and drill our new holes for the spindle here, and then we made a mark here with a Sharpie, and we'll let Dani cut this with a jigsaw, and he can stay outside that line. Of course, we'll take the spindle back out and then we'll have a nice reinforcing ring that we can weld back into that mower deck. Hey Danny, we can be like this old house, you know, on PBS. Hi Bob, what are you working on today?
Yeah.
All right, now we can always grind it straight and all that kind of stuff, but putting it back's a bit of a challenge. So we just lay that in here on top of this, just to give the folks a rough idea what we're fixing to do. We're going to do that. And of course we'll grind away all the paint and everything and get a nice good weld all the way around there, and that deck will be as good as new. Alright, so now Danny, he has model hands, you see that? So he's gonna have the like the Palmolive hands and stuff like that for videos. But anyway, what he's gonna do is he's gonna get those 4 bolts started-ish.
We're gonna have to hammer this side.
And
Yep.
we'll get them going, and we'll draw these up real gentle, and that'll straighten out that thin metal of this deck. Okay. That's good. Just a little bit at a time now. Bring that one up, and then bring this one up. And that, so these are our sides where we're really out.
Yeah, well, it's also got the little lip.
Okay, well, that's fine. We can work with that, and I'll show you how. Hang tight. All right, so what we're doing is we were able to get 2 of our bolts started, but a couple of them, the housing was bent too much out of the way, so we're going to use a skinnier bolt that's longer and go through, and that'll pull all this back just right. We don't want to play Superman here, because we want this thing to line back up at the same plane as this one, so you don't have one blade cutting higher than the other or cutting crooked. So now once we get all that, we got this straightened out the way we want it, then we'll go on the other side and we'll tack weld that ring. And once we have the ring tacked in place, then we can take the spindle out and then finish weld all the way around, and then it'll be just strong as can be. And we got some other stuff we got to fix in here. We had this cracked, we have to re-weld that and stiffen that up a wee bit. But and then here we got a little wheelie thing we got to weld back on up here, but nothing major.
It's good.
Yeah, usually
it's really good.
My welds usually don't look that good.
Hold on, let me get.
I'm just getting little tack welds around here, and then we'll go in and fill it in.
I'll let you understood me wrong.
Huh?
It ain't sticking out.
Oh, okay.
It's recessed up at top.
Oh, nice. Lovely.
Huh?
I said lovely. Alrighty. And now we got all our broke pieces welded. Let it cool down. I'll use some etching primer to prime all this stuff up that we put in there. And we fix that. And we'll get some, that etching primer will make a nice good surface for the paint to stick to. And Dani went and got him some John Deere yellow, and once this etching primer dries, we'll shoot it with some of that John Deere yellow, and then we'll put all that together and grease those spindles up, and we'll send him on his merry way, which is probably a good thing because it's getting late. Alrighty. And now we got our spindle back in there, and it's all made up nice and better than new. I'm sure his wife will be happy with that. Now she can mow and it won't make all kind of weird funky sounds and stuff. We went ahead and fixed this. This had started cracking, so we stiffened that up and stopped the cracks so they won't go no further. And did the same thing up here with this little anti-scalp wheel. That broke off. But, you know, there's only so much you can do with those. If you hit them hard enough, you'll knock them off no matter how hard you, or how good you weld them. But that'll do. And we threw that etching primer to it, let it dry, and then hit it with some John Deere yellow and protect that, because we don't want my weld or the new piece of metal rusting any faster than it has to. So, well, we're gonna install his new blades on the bottom, and then we're gonna call this done. So, and of course, Dani did most of the work himself. I just did the dirty work, like the welding and stuff. But you know, but it always helps to have a nice shop to work in. So,
Yep.
all right, Dani, let's button this thing up and get you on your merry way. All right. So we've got the motor out of the boat, and we found our leak back there. That's not looking too good down there. It looks like they did some shitty repair on that. I don't know how we're going to deal with that, but first we're going to deal with the motor. So we've got the motor out. Now we're going to get it on the stand, but before you can put it on an engine stand, you got to get this Guibo disc thing out of here. It's the adapter that pretty much what bolts to the flywheel and then has your splines to hook to your stern drive. So but you got to take that out to be able to fit your engine stand adapter on there. And even at that, you still need to use some extra washers and stuff. So anyway, let's get this thing up on the stand. We still got to tighten these up and lock them into place, and then we'll get it on the stand. And in the next episode, we'll show us digging that busted starter bolt out of there. Now I'm gonna get Robert to stand next to his motor and do like a trophy shot where he can stand there next to it, you know, because he busted his behind getting that motor out. He did 99.999% of the work on this one. I just told him where to stick his wrench, and he rolled with it from there. So now we got it out. Then we're gonna have to flip it over and extract that busted starter bolt under there, and then we're going to go through we're also going to go through the stern drive. I believe there's a little impeller, rubber impeller that helps suck the water up out of the bottom and pumps it, primes it up to the engine. And my guess is if it's still got the original exhaust manifold, I'm guessing it's probably still got the original impeller in it, because I wasn't seeing a whole lot of water come shooting out of the back of this motor, so I'm guessing it wasn't sucking a lot up in there. So I think we're gonna just look into all that and go from there. So thanks everybody for watching. Kind of had a double header today with Dani's mower deck and pulling the motor out of Robert's boat. So anyway, till next time, again, thanks for watching. Stay tuned and we'll keep you posted as to what's happening with this thing, and we'll go from there.